Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Abhinav Sabharwal. I'm a principal consultant and CEO of School of RPA. And today we are going to talk about five types of RPA robots. So let's see what they are. Now, when we talk about RPA or robotic process automation, uh, what we really mean is it's the software program that helps you automate a task. So today here we will talk about five types of RPA robots, and I'll be explaining about each of these robots to you in a bit of a detail. So these five types of RPA robots are attended robots, unattended robots, virtual assistants, chatbots, and web crawlers. Let's look at attended robots. So at number one are attended robots, and these robots, these are kind of a program that are actually controlled by users. So that is why they reside on users' desktop. Now, attended automated solutions reside on an employee's workstation and are triggered by specific events, actions, or commands. What this really means is they are in control of individual employee. They reside on the machine of employees, and employees usually invoke them for a specific reason. Attended automation often involves employees moving between multiple interfaces or screens in any given transaction or context. Attended automation solutions must also be agile and user-friendly in order for employees to move from platform to platform in what more often than not is a customer facing solution. Right. So here we are talking about uh, uh, you know we are talking about employee, and more often than not it's a call center or contact center kind of employee using automation to move between three or four multiple windows or programs that he needs to do to fulfill the customer request. Let's look at that example in a bit more detail in next slide. Okay. Now, in attended automation relies more on cooperation with companies, employees, or administrators, where human intervention is required, or at least more at the forefront of how automation robots go about their tasks. As an example, think of a call center employee who often uses attended automation to engage with data, documents, or account information in real time, to focus more on customers and less on process of recalling or entertaining data or information. So think of a guys. I want you to imagine this call center employee who is on phone with a customer, and where customer is saying, "Hey, I had requested cancellation of services. What happened to that?" And this employee has three or four screens open on his laptop or desktop, where maybe he has an email program open, he has some files open, he has a CRM program and a finance program open, and he's trying to see whether the request has indeed been cancelled and whether the refund has been processed or not. So he's actually navigating between two, three programs, because the customer is saying, I send you the email, and check me and give me the reference number. So he has to at least open three programs, that is an email uh, app like Outlook.com, and maybe a CRM system and a finance system, right? So that can become very hectic. So to help in that, a robot can actually uh, navigate these programs far more faster. And what employee can do in such a situation is open up the robot and just tell the employee reference number or the customer reference number. The robot will do the rest by navigating between all these programs much faster than what the employee can do. Right. So this is a very good use case for in, use case of RPA for BPOs and KPOs and stuff like that. Unattended robots. Yeah. Now these type of robots are usually reside on servers. That means uh, as an individual employee, I don't have any control over them. Unattended RPA robots execute tasks and interact with applications independent of human involvement. Unattended bots can be triggered by events and they can be scheduled. Normally, guys, unattended robots process do a batch processing kind of a thing. and they are triggered by events, and that is a very fancy way of saying that either they are scheduled, that means they will run from specified time, like 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and stuff like that, or they will run continuously and monitor the email system. So as soon as the email comes, they will scan for attachment, and if there's attachment, they will process a particular type of attachment, like in insurance claims. So think of an insurance claim processing company like Religare or something, and they are processing all these insurance claims that they are receiving. So what customers are doing is they are sending these claim forms from the website, or they are sending the scanned copy of the claim forms, and as soon as the claim forms is sent to a predetermined email ID, RPA robot looks at the email, figures out whether it has attachment or not, and if it has attachment, looks it as a claim form. And if it is a claim form, it will simply read the data from claim form and put it on the CRM system. So automated robots are usually, like I said, batch processing systems are triggered by either scheduler or some kind of event like receiving an email, and they are controlled by IT system administrator, right? Not individual employees. They reside on server. That they are basically what you can say controlled by IT system administrator, and they are scheduler based. And most popular use of such RPA bots is in back office. A huge amount of data is collected, stored, analyzed, and dispersed. Virtual assistants. Yeah, this is my favorite. At number three, we have virtual assistants, and I'm sure, guys, all of you have used virtual assistant, at some point in your lives. So if you're watching this video, you're tech savvy enough, and you probably have Siri on your Apple iPhone, or Google on your Android phone, or maybe you have used Amazon Alexa, right? So you have this diagram here which shows all the things that a virtual assistant can do. It can play music, it can book flight tickets, schedule things, maybe even chat with you, book a hotel or restaurant for you, yeah? Wake you up, call your contacts, tell you about weather. Now, historically, all these things were done by human beings, a human assistant, like a secretary or a personal assistant. Uh, so nowadays, this is all can be done by technology, and that is another example of a robotic process automation. Number four is chatbots. Right. Again, I can safely assume that some, if not all of you, have at some point, you know, interacted with chatbots. And chatbots are software applications that use artificial intelligence sometimes and natural language processing to understand what a human being wants and guide them to their desired outcome with as little work for the end user as possible. Right? So chatbots are typically used in dialogue systems for various purposes, including customer service, request routing, for information gathering, and as such. Right. So now chatbots are a bit like virtual assistants, but whereas in virtual assistants you can interact with voice, uh, chatbots you type your query, and what actually does is scan the query for some of the keywords, and based on these keywords, it has three or four predetermined list of actions that you can take or ask the bot to take. Uh, and some chatbots are intelligent, that is, they learn over a period of time, uh, and and some chatbots are just dumb bots. So it's like they give you a list of menu items based on natural language query that they're given them. So most of the time they are like dumb bots. And at number five are web crawlers, something that will have almost forgotten about. Web crawler guys were the very first use case of RPA. Of course, that time it was not called RPA. It was not even called automation. Web crawlers are these, or spiders as they are sometimes called, are this list of software programs that indexes the web. So when you go into Google and type something, and Google shows the result, it is actually showing the result of a result that has already been pre-indexed. Who has indexed that result? Well, you guessed it right. It's a spider, a crawler, as it is sometimes, right? So historically, what used to happen was this task was done manually, and I think sometimes in 80s or sometimes when Yahoo came on, they were the first to automate the web calling process because it was becoming impossible to index the web via human beings, right? And of course, I have included this entry here because I just felt that everybody has forgotten about the web crawlers, but they really were the very first use case in automation. All right, guys, this was the last slide of my video, very short video, and hey, if you like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put on new videos very often, and I only talk about robotic process automation, right? And if you like my video, just put a comment down below. Thank you for watching this. If there are any questions, guys, you can put them in comments. I'll reply. Bye bye. Thank you.